How's it going, mi gente? Today we're going to get into my new EDC versus my old duty EDC. These are both essentially Glock 19 clones, but made by two different companies. This one is made by Grips, and this is the Lonewolf Dusk 19. So just in case you were in the market of getting something in this category, gives you a better idea, and I'll explain why I personally am going with the Lonewolf over the Grips. All right, let's start off with the old school one. Mind you, both of these are cleared prior to recording. I'm running the TLR 1 with the Hollow Sun 507. First off, both of these guns have thumb ledges for gas pedaling. I have that in pretty much all my guns, except for my revolver. And I like that the light sticks out a little bit more than the barrel. Reason being is because when I work bodyguard work, I always carry a backup revolver just in case you have to stick it to someone and press the trigger. At least with the flashlight, extended flashlight, you have the ability to do that. Okay. The 507 I got because everybody told me that this was the best gun, red dot for when you have astigmatism, and they were wrong. At least for my eyes, I see this as a big blur. I can still use it, but just not ideal. I do have suppressor height sights, just regular 3 tritium dots, not my favorite. But I think the big difference between these two guns is the trigger. This is just your standard Glock trigger, okay? It has the dingus in there that protrudes, kind of pain in the ass to your finger once you fire lots and lots of rounds. They both got the undercut, the high undercut, which is very nice. But this trigger I'm measuring right about 5.5 pounds, whereas this one I'm measuring at 4 pounds. So there's the take up, and it breaks, right? Not a bad trigger, okay? But of course, just like most striker fired triggers, you got that little sponginess before it actually does break, okay? My knife was a fox knife, karambit style. You can find these on Amazon. They're pretty inexpensive, but very easy to deploy. Of course, rocking the Emerson Wave feature. And you guys who've seen my knife videos know that the point down is more, for me, more of a get off me type of blade. Whereas this one, which we're gonna get into soon, is much more suitable for an actual fighting knife. Getting into the Lonewolf, I mean, isn't she pretty? Look at that. On this one, I'm running the TLR 7. I haven't put an optic on it yet, but even just with iron sights, I'm already shooting this better than my Grips. The sight setup, I love it. The blacked out rear and the green front. I have similar sights on pretty much all my other guns. Sometimes I go with the gold front sight or fiber optic, but this is my preferred iron sight setup. Again, it's got the gas pedal. Both of these guns have the gas pedal, which I love for controlling recoil, but this one does have a slightly extended flare magwell. All right, again, for the YouTube algorithm and Instagram, this is unloaded. Let's take a look at this trigger. This is really the star of the show. It's a flat face trigger. The dingus does not protrude, which I absolutely love, okay? Here's the take up, and it breaks. Reset, boom, right there. I love this trigger. Still a little bit spongy, not as good as my 1911 trigger, but damn near close, okay? You can see on some of my other videos, I could stack holes 10 yards, like a 2-inch group, just, you know. With this gun, no problem. I could do it with this gun too, but I have to focus in a little bit more on my trigger press. All right, to the knife. All right, this is the Emerson CQC 15. All right, this is a much better actual fighting knife. Okay, it's got the American tonsil tip, and it comes with basically a very small guard, but it's still there with your thumb ledge, right? And no risk of your hand sliding up, okay? The only downside to this knife compared to this one is that I can, let me show you, I can use these at the same time, right? So I could still fire the gun, right, while holding the knife, right? Someone gets too close, back the fuck off, right? So this is still a great knife, okay? If you're don't have a lot of money, this is a still great fighting knife, okay? But with the tip up grip, saber grip, right, it's much more, this is much more of a fighting blade, okay? If I ran out of bullets with this, I feel, I don't want to say super confident against a gun, right? But at close range, again, knives at close range are extremely dangerous, even if you have a gun, okay? This Emerson is a great fighting knife. The only complaint about this is that the actual Emerson wave feature is a little stiff in the beginning, but something I did to solve that is I got this little knife oil. I put about a drop every other week or so, and it helps deploy much quicker and much smoother, all right? So I'll show you. A little bit stiffer again, but I'm sure with a little break-in period, right, and a little bit more oil, it'll have no problem deploying. The grip, G10 grip, right, just under 4 inches to make it legal for pocket carry. I trust my life with these weapons, all right? Last, what should I call them? I call this guy the Hulk. I'm trying to name all my guns. You guys have any good ideas for the Dusk 19? Write your comments down below.